Good afternoon. This is Ron Brown. It's Friday, September 15th. There's about an hour left in the trading day, and I'm going to show you a feature, some scans that I've had in the software, and I just want to show you how powerful it is for days like this. This is a bad market day, to say the least, and it was kind of unexpected after seeing strength the past 2 days. But it's all about interest rates, evidently. But I'm going to show you where the strength and weakness is based upon sectors. As always, I have to read portions of this standard risk disclaimer. Any stock, index, or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. Now, the files that I'm using are from my webinar series files. If you're an Insider Club member, you have access to all of these. And if you aren't an Insider Club member or not a HCSI user, you should be if you want to get in on the power of this program. Now, I'm in folder number 12. It's the 2023 webinar series, and I'm going to go to this and open up the folder. I'm in all securities. This is intraday market momentum up. These are all stocks which are assigned to groups, and if I bring the spectrum analyzer up, you can see a breakdown of these stocks. Now there's 10,024 moving up, and how many are moving down? 2455. So quite a discrepancy between up and down. 1024 compared to 2455. And there's a lot of groups here and a lot of things to look through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can isolate this down into sectors. Now I also have intraday market momentum up, HCS box stocks. There's only 118 up, and you can see that the money is flowing into REITs, and precious metal and mining, healthcare services, and so on. On the downside, there's 393, so another big gap between up stocks that are up and stocks that are down. But what I really want to show you is this one here, intraday market momentum sectors up. Now what I did here differently is I created a filter which goes in to the S&P 500 sectors. I created all of these sectors, put the individual stocks in these sectors into groups, and then I built the filter from that. So you can see there's materials, communication, energy, financial, and so on. And down another level are the individual stocks. I just thought this would be a good way to see where the real strength and weakness is, because these are the stocks that are traded heavily by the institutions. So I have sectors up. There's 131 stocks here, and sectors down, there's 338. Now, if I go to the sectors up, and I'm going to do a resort here. First of all, I want to go in to my industries and sectors, take the filter off, and then rebuild these groups by going to the Tools menu, rebuild indexes and groups, and I'm rebuilding the industry groups. But I'm concentrating on the sectors, as you'll see. So the industries have been rebuilt, and now I want to sort on sector. And then I'm going to do a secondary sort on industry. And if you look over here, you'll see these consumer discretionary sectors. There will be a sort on the industry. I'll move this over here so you can see it. And so now consumer discretionary and airlines. And then I want a third sort. I want to, I'll just type range, and I'm going to use the intraday range, and this will be resorted. So what that does, it tells these steps by sorting like this. I can see the sectors that are up and the stocks within those sectors that are up, and by rebuilding the industry groups, and here's a stock that's evidently not in a group, and I'll take care of that the next time I update the groups. It's a reinsurer. Anyway, you can see that it's sorted according to sector and then according to the industry group and then according to the range, the intraday range, so I can see which of these stocks are holding up the best. And I rebuilt the industry group. I can see which industry groups are up today and which stocks are up in these sectors. This is filtered out according to the stocks that are up for the day. You can see that as I scroll down this list. And then if I bring this up and we look at the sectors, it tells us how many stocks are in each of the sectors. Now here's that stock which is not assigned to a group, but healthcare is a dominant sector, followed by consumer discretionary and then utilities. Get down here to energy. There's two, and notice in the technology sector there are only 4 stocks that are up for the day. Now let's just go to the downside, and you can see that the technology sector is really under pressure today, followed by financials and then consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary has stocks both up and down. I'm going to go back to the upside today. Consumer discretionary. These are the groups within the consumer discretionary that are up for today. And I can see that by looking over here. These prices are all positive. Now, the group itself, the industry group, is up. This is a percentage change over 5 days, and down 2.11 for 5 days, but up 0.64 for today. So I can easily see within the financials, for example, which of the industry groups are up today, and consumer finance is up while banks are down. Investment management is down slightly, but it's just real easy to see which groups are up today and which stocks from these sectors are up. Now I'm going to bring this down here, minimize it, and let's just take a look here at entertainment content. Paramount Global is up today, but its range is only 38.92%. And you can see that there's been selling into this. Now the chart that I'm using, or the charts, are the weekly, and you can see over the past couple of weeks there's been some accumulation in here. Strength returning, and a confirmation of that strength today. But in the daily chart, after this huge break here, more than likely on earnings, this stock has been trending down, and it has not been able to surpass this high or this high that was established here. You can see it ran into resistance. This is a lower high here and a lower high here. It's been trending down, but now there seems to be some interest in it. I brought my drawing tools up. You can see, well, here is the no supply, and volume has really been falling off this stock may be just about sold out. Is the smart money acquiring it now? Well, maybe, but it's got a lot of work to do. You can see looking up here, the cyan line represents the group, and this is its performance relative to the group. If the green line's going up, it's outperforming the group, and it's going up a little bit. Now this up here is a comparison to the S&P 500. So not a real great candidate here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly chart again. Let's go down to the airlines. You can see that Southwest is still trading at 93.44% of its daily range. The market's extremely weak today, and this stock too is in a severe downtrend. It's maybe finding some support right here. You can see the weekly chart. It's in the upper part of its range, and here is a strength seen returning and a confirmation of that strength. And if you look at the bring the arrow up, its performance compared to the group, the green line is going up pretty dramatically, and the industry group is down to flat, and its comparison relative strength to the S&P, it's turning up. So there are some buyers coming in here, finding support here. Now, does this mean it's going to go up? No, not necessarily, but some of the smarter money that has great staying power, they are starting to accumulate. Here's a green bar, which is above average volume. This bar here is red. It's above average volume too, but you look at the trading range, the daily range of this, and it closed in the upper 1/3 to 1/4 of its range. And then today, in this extremely weak market, if this holds up, it's at 93% of its daily range. Some buyers are coming in. Volume is light though. This is a triple witching day, I believe, for options. As I'm doing this, the NASDAQ Composite's down 1.68%, and let's see what the S&P is down 1.17%. So it's a very weak day, and if there's interest in this stock on a very weak day like this, it may be starting to be accumulated, and you can see that once again it's outperforming its group. Let's just take a look at Delta. You can see that its daily range is in the upper 1/3 of the candle, but notice that it is not outperforming its industry group. It says right here green strength versus the industry group. It's just flat, so it's performing along with the industry group, which is flat to down, and it is outperforming the S&P a little bit today. You can see that yellow is turned up. Looking over here at the weekly chart, the trend is clearly down. I don't see any accumulation in the weekly chart. So if I were going to purchase one of these stocks or put it in my watch list, it would certainly be Southwest, because it is moving up and holding up much better than its industry group. Now, I usually don't buy stocks in this position, which are showing a strong trend down, but just for curiosity, put this in a watch list and see what Southwest does in the future. Remember, there's support over here on the weekly chart. Had a nice move up and then failed. Look at that great VPA signal right there. And it hasn't recovered from that. I'm going to put this in quick add to group. I'm going to choose. Okay. Watch list. I'm going to put it in my follow group. just to see what happens. Now the purpose of this video is just to show you that even though many stocks within a sector are down and stocks in the group are down also, there are stocks within these sectors that are up. And on a very weak day like this, these are some of the stocks that you should be looking at for potential trades in the following week. Now I'm going to scroll over here. You can see that a lot of these have VPA flags. And if I want to concentrate only on stocks that are in an uptrend, this one's not in the group. Let's go down this column right here. These are EMA Fan, Ross Stores, Strength Seen Returning, Consumer Discretionary. The industry group is down. It's in the Specialty Apparel Store group. And you can see that we have a strong chart here based both upon the weekly and not so much on the daily, is it? But what we're seeing here is an opportunity possibly to get into this stock. Now see how this stock with the green line going down has been underperforming the group, and here is the group. The group has not been moving up, but this one's been underperforming. And only today is it starting to outperform the S&P. But if we look at a different chart here, and I'm going to look at my C chart, bring it up, you can see that the 3 went below the 6 here. There was a dividend on that day. 3 went below the 6, and now the momentum is changing because these bars on the histogram are getting shorter. That's the deepest part right here, but the past 2 days with a strength seen returning after a downtrend and a confirmation of that strength, confirmed strength today, if it holds up like this. It could change, plus a volume pocket pivot yesterday. And this is the industry group here, which has been going up, but remember this one's been underperforming. This is a potential trade on the long side. And I'll put it in the follow group too. Now remember, I selected this stock because the fan is up 200, 150, and 18. So it's been in a strong uptrend, and there's been some profit taking. But now it looks like buyers are starting to come back into it. Let's go back up to, oops, wrong one. Still the wrong one. I want number, this is the one I want. I'm going to go back down here, and I'm going to scroll down. Okay, this is the EMA Fan up. Here's another one right here, Halliburton. Oils have been strong. Let's take a look back across here. I'll just bring up Halliburton. This is in the energy sector, of course. Scroll back over here, and you can see here was strength returning on the weekly chart, a confirmation of that strength, and look at this stock go. I'm pointing out in these charts the VPA flags in addition to trying to determine the trends, support and resistance, and so on. And you can see that this stock is moving up today, and it's been in a long run. Now come look at this up here. It's been going up. It's been outperforming the group, and the group has been going up too, and it's outperforming the S&P 500. This is chart 1C. Make this a little bit larger, and you can see that the green is clearly going up. So what does it tell me? It tells me that this is one of the strongest stocks within that industry group. Now let's take a quick look on the sectors down. Let's look at this again. Tech sector is getting killed. Let's look at the industries. Semiconductor devices is a dominant group, followed by application software. 14 in the semis. They're just getting hit hard today. Anybody who chased NVIDIA is getting killed on that stock today. It's down almost $16 right now, and it's been falling. That was clearly a stock that was under distribution, and all the hype about it, all the analysts upgrading it to $700, $800. Maybe it'll get there, but in the short term, it is getting hammered. So, first of all, let's go down here. Let's look for the tech stocks. There we go. And let's look for semiconductor devices. And this, the third sort, is, I'm going to make this ascending on the percentage range. So the weakest semiconductors based upon range will be at the top of the list. And you can see that Skyworks Solutions is at 1.91% of its daily range. The strongest semiconductor is Intel at 23.60% of its daily range. The industry group is down 2.82%. So let's take a look at Skyworks Solutions. Okay, looks like there was an earnings miss here, and it gapped down. Effort to fall, huge volume. Usually when the volume is that heavy, there are some long-term holders or so-called smart money that'll be stepping in to start to accumulate this, assuming it's been overdone. You can see it's underperformed the S&P. The group has been going down, and this stock over the past couple of days is outperforming the industry group. Volume is below normal. You can see how light the volume is today. On the weekly chart, it's right at this support area right here now. So it may be starting to be under accumulation, but it's really a dangerous stock right now. Let's go down to, let's see. Well, here's NVIDIA here. It's at 13.18% of its daily range. You can see it's down. The price change is down 15.37 right now. And one-day change down 3.37. You should be paying attention to these VPA flags if you're using the software. Right here, and let's make this full screen. An upthrust bar after an up move, a sure sign of weakness. This upthrust is at very high volume, which confirms a weakness. And there's another VPA flag. A down bar after an upthrust confirms weakness. Reached new recent higher and higher volume, but failed to hold. So there are several VPA signals here. Same thing here. I believe this was earnings day right here. This was anticipation of earnings. The smart money was selling into this. If I put a crosshair on this, you can see that the smart money was selling into resistance. And then on earnings, it gapped up. Smart money was selling. And then right here we had a test, confirmation of that test. But remember, you've got all this resistance up here on very heavy volume. Look at the volume bars here, where traders were taking profits. Very heavy here too. Now this up volume was heavy, but it wasn't nearly as heavy as the down volume. So you know you're more than likely you're going to be running into problems as it approaches the old high. Even with these positive VPA flags here, it's stalled. So you just have to take that into account, the resistance areas. And since then it's been drifting down on relatively light volume. Still heavy volume, but not like over here. And it was holding up. Here's strength coming in, confirmation of that strength, but the market is overwhelming it today. You can see that it's been underperforming the semiconductor group, and the group has been going down. I'm going to minimize this. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. You can see how strong this was for such a long time. And then it started getting sloppy here. And let's make this full screen. If I click on here, up thrust bar, reached new high but failed to hold. This was on, or during this week. Here's where it rallied, but once again, it couldn't get past resistance, and now it's selling off. Volume is not nearly as heavy this week as the up volume on these 3 weeks. But the stock is closing at the low end, or closing near the low end of its weekly range. So I'd be very careful about this stock. It's been such an active stock, and there's so much hype about it. A trader or investor can really get hurt by chasing this stock. I mean, that's a big dollar move in a day, $15.37. Now, I don't want this video to get any longer, so I'm going to shut it down, but I just wanted to point out to you that if you want to use the momentum sectors up and down, they're right here. And remember, they go directly to the spider sectors, the stocks within those sectors. So you can tell if the bigger money players are involved in these stocks, or they will be involved in them, but it just gives us a good feel for the momentum up and down. Number of stocks here up 131, down 338. As you have seen, not all sectors are going to be up or down. There's a mixture, but we can come in here and see which industry groups are down just by rebuilding the industry groups, and we can see which industry groups are up for the day. Now, there's stocks up within down industry groups. Anyway, I wanted to give you this little tutorial, and give it a try if you're using the product. It just gives us a great insight into where the strength and weakness is within the spider sectors. Thanks for listening, and have a good week. This is my weekend report for the week. I won't be around tomorrow. So once again, thank you for listening.